guys, it's your golden girl here, Harriet Cheryl Maloba, welcoming you back to my YouTube channel. And today we are going to do kebabs, just as a snack or for tea item or for packed food to go and visit. It can be used in many areas. So what do we need? A quarter a kilogram of beef minced. We have 2 large onions that we have finely chopped. We have a teaspoon of turmeric powder. We have 1 egg, which we are going to use as our binding agent. We have dhania or coriander. We have cumin seeds that we have crushed. I like crushing mine because of the flavors. Then we have garlic and ginger paste. We have 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and we have garam masala. We will use black pepper for seasoning. We will use black pepper and salt. And then for coating, before we fry, we have our fat. For deep frying, we have wheat flour, which we are going to season with salt and white pepper. And then we have an egg for coating before we put this one is the one that is going to cause the magic of the strings that are normally felt and seen in the kebabs. So we want to mix our onions into our meat, but because before we do that, we will have to sweat them briefly without changing color, just sweat, so that we make them a bit not very sharp, and also when we are molding our kebab, they don't form spaces. They bind well when they have been sweat. So until they lose the hardness a bit. Then in the meat, we are also going to add our garlic, salt, just 1.5 teaspoon. Then we will put our garlic, our ginger. We are going to put in the onions once they have sweat. We will mix briefly, and then we add the 1 cup of breadcrumbs and cumin seeds, turmeric, garam masala, so once we have all of them inside here, we are going to mix. So black pepper, you'll use it sparingly, depending on the people whom you'd wish to have this kebab, because if you're going to put a lot, then maybe the younger people may not be in a position to eat, but you just put a bit for flavors. Then we are going to mix them up. We mix until they mix well. As for the spices, you can also have your own preferred spices if you are a spicy person. This is when we can add the chili flakes or chili powder, depending on which one you use. Once you put in your spices, you will begin to get the nice aroma of those spices if you use fresh spices. Now we can add in our ginger. So we are ready. So we are going to put our onions and the ginger. So if you sweat your onions, it marries well with the meat. Then we can put our dhania and the egg. Just one medium egg. Make sure you beat it. So our meat is now ready for shaping. So the shapes also will depend with what are you making them for. If they are just for the house as a snack, or you want to sell, that will depend. That will determine the size. But make them a bit longer, because when they get to the heat, they tend to shrink. Yeah, keep molding. and don't make them very fat so that they can be able to cook inside nicely. I think that's enough. So you keep pressing to reduce the fatness, and at the same time you make them slightly longer so that when they shrink, they are of a good size. For those who are doing uh, business, you realize that to make you make a bit of some profit, you increase the amount of, depending with the clients actually whom you target. There are those who may not want to eat kebabs which have a lot of breadcrumbs, so they wouldn't mind to pay more for their meats. So that will depend with your clientele. If you have a clientele that may not wish to pay more, then you can add a bit, use more of the breadcrumbs. Instead of using 1 cup and 3/4 kilo of beef, you can use 3 cups. You can see when you sweat your onions, they mix well with the beef. They don't tend to protrude. They marry well with the beef. So now once we have shaped, now we are going to season the coating flour just a bit. Remember we had put salt in the meat. So we are just putting a bit of salt because we are going to have 3 layers of eggs. So we need to also at least flavor to make them taste. So we are going to add a bit of the garlic, beat together with the eggs for the flavor beat, so that it doesn't just taste eggs or smell eggs. Since we are going to put 3 coatings of the egg as we fry. So we are going to place our pan on the heat. So you make sure you mix the seasoning well. So the first round of frying, we are going to fry, just coat in the flour, and then we put in the oil. Then once we have removed all of them, that's when we are going to start with the coating with the egg. So we'll put in the egg, coat it nicely, put it in the pan, let it cook. Then again you remove it, put it again in the egg, coat it, put it back in the pan, and then you do it the third time before you remove them to set them for eating. So once your oil is ready, remember the pan, we say you put the handle away from you or away from the pathway to avoid accidents. So once you have them like this, you can put them slowly in the fat. Don't just drop to splash. When the fat is very hot, it seals in those juices and it preserves the flavors. Then once it has sealed in, then we will reduce the heat so that it can cook inside slowly before we remove them to start coating in the egg. So now we can reduce the heat so that they can cook slowly to be able to cook inside. So once we have fried, you switch off, and then we concentrate now on the putting of the, the egg. So let the oil cool a bit, okay? And then we will switch it on so that it cooks. Remember, what we want is the kebabs to cook inside. So we don't want it to burn. So when you see it has removed, the oil has cooled a bit, then we will switch it on. So once it's like that, then we return it back into the oil and we proceed like that. So we will put all of them That's the second coating. So we are going to put all of them the first coating. So now we can reduce the heat. So our kebabs are ready. Already did 3 rounds of dipping in the eggs and back in the oil, hot oil. So we have presented. I had earlier prepared a barbecue sauce to have them and a bit of the kachumbari. So you can have them with a cup of tea, or you can have them with a potato dish as a lunch. You can have them as a tea item. You can have them packed for packed lunches, or going to visit children in school. So we can test and see they are cooked inside. You only need to control the heat. Very yummy with the barbecue sauce. Very nice. So make interesting bites for your family. Kindly follow my content, my YouTube channel, Harriet Cheryl Maloba. You will get videos, we will get to share all what interesting items there. If you are new, kindly subscribe and share my videos, like and comment. If you are an old subscriber, thank you so much. Thank you. I don't take it for granted. Thank you for your support. Thank you, and keep supporting this golden girl. Until the next one, have a blessed one.